Welcome to the channel. I'm Beth Elland. Today's practice, we're going to be working with the element of air. So we're going to be focusing on the chest, the side body, and the back body to really expand the area around our lungs, to take our deepest breath and fill ourselves with this lovely air that we breathe every day. If at any point during today's practice you feel a lot of vata or that air energy, please just ground down. So if you're standing up, just come down, maybe lie down on your back. With your palms face down, you can keep your feet on the mat, really digging in, and just let the earth hold you here. You can keep your eyes open or closed. And just breathe here if it becomes too much for you. So with that, we will begin in Virasana. So just sitting on your heels. You can stay facing the long edge of the mat. I'm just going to show you here. You're just sitting flat on your heels. Your thighs are parallel to one another. If this isn't comfortable, maybe take a pillow or a cushion or something or a blanket and put it in between your heels and your seat to make that a little bit more comfortable for you. So just sitting here, find alignment, find your shoulders over your hips, and your ears over your shoulders, palms face down or face up in the lap, whatever feels good in the moment. You just notice your breathing. Inhale, fill the belly up with air. And exhale, let it out. 2 more breaths, welcoming yourself to the mat. Take an inhale, reach your arms around and up overhead. Really feeling your collarbones expand. And exhale, push the air away. Palms face down, bringing them back down to the sides of the body. Inhale, arms reach out and up, feeling the spine lengthen. And exhale, arms come down. One more, inhale, reach the arms up, filling the lungs up with air. And exhale, push the air away. It's as if your arms are moving through water or molasses. And this time, bring your arms up, inhale. And exhale, bring just the left arm down and right arm overhead for a side body stretch. Maintaining left in the side ribs and adding length in the right rib. Inhale, come back up, both arms lift. And exhale, right arm comes down, left arm over towards the right. 2 breaths here. Inhale, both arms rise. And exhale, arms come down back to the top. Inhale, lift the arms up. Bend your left elbow. Have hold of that elbow with your right hand. And lean your head into that elbow, finding a tricep stretch here. And pulling gently to find that stretch here in the tricep. Being gentle with yourself, keeping your shoulders down away from the ears. And on your next inhale, both arms lift. And exhale, right arm bends. And hold on to that elbow. Maybe leaning your head into the elbow area to find your tricep stretch on this side. And breathing deeply. Inhale, straighten both arms, reach up. And exhale, let the arms drop down to the sides. Adjusting our stance slightly, we're going to come up to kneeling. So sitting up on your knees. If you need extra padding, you can place your blanket underneath your knees, or you can fold your mat over once to rest your knees here, whatever feels best for you. I have the carpeting, so I'm pretty well padded here, so I don't have much to worry about. Go ahead and extend your left leg out and bring your foot parallel to the short edge of the mat, keeping the torso in line so your shoulders are over your hips here. Really press into that foot. Feel all four corners of both of that foot here. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, bring your left hand to your left hip and reach your right hand over towards the left. Getting even deeper into the side body here. Inhale, reach both arms up. And exhale, bring your right arm down and left arm straight up into a modified side plank. And try to find your abs here, really engage. And feeling the stretch, still pressing into that left foot. And you reach your left arm up and bicep along the ear. Big breath in. And then you exhale, keep turning this way, bring your left arm down and next to the other. And come into an all fours position. And make any movements that feel good here. Maybe moving your hips into a circular motion. Moving forward and back. Whatever feels good. Maybe doing a few rounds of cat-cow if that feels good. Like stretching it out. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So coming back to face the long edge of the mat. Extend your right leg out. Foot nice and parallel to the short edge. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Feel the spine expand. And exhale, right hand to right hip and lean it over towards the left, the right. Breathing into your side ribs. Inhale, both arms rise. And exhale, left arm down into the mat. Inhale, reach the right arm up overhead. Modified side plank here. Really find the outer edge of that right foot. Engage the abs. Imagine your hip points are pulling up towards your chin. And you can reach your right arm up overhead, bicep along the ears. Really stretching it out. And feel your breath begin to deepen. One more big breath in. And on the exhale, let that hand come down next to the left and move back into an all fours position. Making any movements that feel good, maybe the same ones as the other side. Or if you would like to do a few rounds of cow, you can do that here. Just let yourself move around however feels best. Now walk your hands forward slightly and dip your chest down towards the mat. Keeping your hips over your knees, and try to bring your forehead down to the mat in this puppy pose. If your forehead doesn't meet the mat, you can grab a block or a book or something, whatever you have, and maybe try to rest your forehead onto your prop. Just push into your fingertips and knuckles. This is a puppy pose, so you see it looks a lot like a dog, downward facing dog, but it's a little smaller. Take a few breaths here, keeping your belly engaged. Abs are strong. Don't let your low back just sink down. Really engage through the abs here. As you let your chest sink down and your shoulders open. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, push your hands into the mat to come up. We're going to get into the back body a little bit. So reach your right arm up overhead and exhale. Weave it through underneath. First, thread the needle, bringing your right shoulder down to the mat and keeping your left fingertips up near your head here. And feel your shoulder blades expand away from each other. One breath in. And exhale, push into your left hand to come back up. Maybe reaching your arm back up. And opposite side, inhale, bring your left arm up. And exhale, thread it through. So thread the needle here. Maybe right fingertips up near the face. Just feel that stretch in the back body. Keep your hips lined up over the knees. One more big breath in. And exhale, push that right hand into the mat. Bringing your left arm maybe back up overhead. And come back down into your tabletop pose. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, sigh out the mouth. Curl your toes under, push into your fingertips and knuckles, and lift your hips up and back to come into your downward facing dog. And keep your knees bent here, or you can straighten them. Biceps are along the ears. Feel that long, energetic line from your fingertips all the way to your tailbone, pointed straight up to where the back wall meets the ceiling. Take a few breaths here. Really pushing into your fingertips and knuckles. Maybe straighten one leg and then the other, pedaling out your leg. Whatever feels good. You can walk your feet and your hands together to meet at the center of the mat. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Let your head be heavy, maybe sway side to side. On an inhale, lift halfway, bring your fingertips to your shins. Roll the shoulders back, back is parallel to the floor. Exhale, fold. Melting down. Two more like that. Inhale, hands to shins. Feel the shoulders go back. Exhale, melt it back down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, melt. Big breath in through the nose and out the mouth. Let's inhale, roll up one vertebra at a time. Slowly, slowly, head and neck are the last to come up. Into our mountain pose. You can turn to face the long edge of the mat again. Feet are about hip width apart. Chest is lifted, shoulders rolled down and back. Palms shining forward or to either side of the room. Maybe a slight micro bend in the knees. And 4 deep breaths here. Grounding down into all 4 corners of both feet. One more deep breath in and out. And walk your feet a little wider than your hips, maybe about a leg's distance apart from each other. Point your toes towards the outer corners of the mat, so about 45 degrees. Inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, you're going to bend the elbows into a cactus shape and bend your knees into a goddess pose squat. Feel your legs nice and strong. Feel your collarbones expand. Your elbows are moving back in space. Shoulders nice and relaxed. Maybe micro shifting right to left if that feels good. Take a few breaths like this. You can stay here if this feels best. If you want to invite a gentle twist, bring your hands to the inside of the thighs here and dip your right shoulder in. Roll your left shoulder back and face kind of towards the left side wall, shining your heart outward. Inhale, come back to neutral. And as you exhale, roll your left shoulder forward and right shoulder back, rotating in the opposite way. Keep pressing into all 4 corners of both feet. I know your thighs are feeling it. Inhale, come back to neutral. You've got this. Inhale, both arms rise and straighten both legs. Exhale, bring your hands down next to your thighs. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, arms come down to the sides. Maybe place your hands on your hips. You can readjust your feet. Bring your toes slightly in, heels slightly out now. And as you exhale, hinge forward from the hips and fold deeply. Maybe bending the knees slightly if it feels best. Give a rock side to side. Release the hands down to the mat. Mm. Let your head be heavy. Then bring your hands back to the hips. Inhale, lift halfway. Spine is parallel. Roll your shoulders down and back. Exhale. And on your next inhale, push into both feet to lift your torso all the way back up to stand. Turn your left toes forward to face the back of the mat, keeping your legs straight. Inhale, bring your both arms out. Shift your weight forward a little bit and lean towards that leg for your triangle pose. So it's like you're in between two panes of glass. Your shoulders are in line with each other. And if you have a block, you might want to have it on the highest level. You can bend your knees here to bend down to get your block and really use that to push up into. You can always keep your top hand on your waist or on your hip and think of rolling this right shoulder blade back in space so your chest is shining straight towards the front of the room. Whatever feels best here. Inhale, come back up, bring your torso up. Bend into your front knee so your knee is directly over that front ankle. You can toe heel this back foot back a little ways if it feels best for your warrior two stance. Shoulders over your hips. Rotate this inner thigh inward as your front knee is tracking straight over that second toe. 2 breaths here. Strong warrior, engaging the legs. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach your arms up. Position your left foot so that is parallel again with the other. Inhale, both arms rise. Maybe bringing your feet together closer if you need to. Exhale, arms come down and interlace your hands behind your back and bring it so that your heels and your hands can come together to touch. And maybe you need to bend your elbows for this to happen, or just do the best you can here. And feel that fist kind of drop down and roll your shoulder blades back. Feel the chest lift, maybe gaze slightly upward. One more deep breath in. And exhale, bend the knees a little bit and fold forward. You can keep that clasp if it feels good. Maybe lift that fist upward, keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. One more big breath in. And exhale, release the clasp of your hands. Let your hands fall down to the mat. Inhale, lifting halfway, hands to hips. Back is parallel to the ceiling. Exhale here. Then inhale, pushing into your feet to lift all the way back up to stand. The same thing on the other side. So turn your right toes forward to face the top of the mat. Keeping that leg straight for now. Inhale, reach your arms out. And exhale, lean over towards the right for your triangle pose. Whether you're using a block or just resting your hand on the inseam of that shin. Wherever your triangle is today. Making sure in this one and in the warrior pose, your front heel is bisecting the back arch. So those feet are both in the same line, just perpendicular to each other. One more deep breath in. Feel the left side ribs expand. Feel the crown of your head moving away from your tailbone. Inhale, back arm pulls your torso up. Bend into the front knee, maybe toe heel that back foot a little ways. If you need more length. Warrior two. Fierce warrior. Same as kind of before, elbows are moving back in space, shoulders are relaxed. One more deep breath in and out. Inhale, palms face up. Straighten that front leg. Readjust that front foot to face the front of the mat. And exhale. Hands come next to your sides. Interlace your hands behind your back. Maybe the more unusual way, so bringing the opposite thumb on top. Toe heel your feet together a little bit closer if you need to. Inhale, roll your shoulders back. Maybe gaze slightly upward, not craning your neck or anything, just feeling that expansion in your chest. And on your next exhale, bending the knees, hinging forward from the hips, slowly folding forward. And reaching that fist upward if it feels good, or just releasing it. One more big breath in. And exhale, release your hands down to the mat. And let your head be heavy. Inhale, hands to hips. Halfway lift, roll your shoulders back. Exhale here in a flat back. And push your way back up to stand. Deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, sigh out the mouth. Step forward to the top of the mat. Feet about hip width apart. We're going to do a sun salutation before we come down to the mat. So inhale, reach your arms out and up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, bending the knees. Inhale, lift halfway, rolling the shoulders back. Exhale, plant your palms down near your feet and step both feet back into your plank pose. Maybe holding here for a breath or two. You can lower down to your belly, either lowering your knees first or just lower down into one line, keeping your elbows close to the body. Feet flat on the floor, the tops of the feet flat on the floor, hips press into the mat. Inhale, peel your shoulders and your chest away from the mat. Gaze forward, Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. And exhale, forehead comes back down to the mat. We're going to do two more of these. You can either do just cobra like we just did, maybe with your fingertips on the mat, or you can interlace your hands behind your back for a modified locust pose. Inhale, peeling the chest forward, shining the heart like a flashlight to the side wall. And exhale, coming down. One more like this. Inhale, lift up. Press your hips into the mat. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Engage the abs to go back. And exhale. Forehead comes back down to the mat. Place your hands next to your shoulders. Push up into your tabletop pose. Take one breath in. One breath out. And sink it back into a child's pose. Keeping your knees together. And folding forward. until your forehead meets the mat. And same as before, if this isn't comfortable, you can do that same trick we did in the beginning with Virasana and put a pillow underneath your feet. And if your forehead doesn't meet the mat, you can always use a block here to rest your forehead down. Let's extend our hands back behind us, palms facing up, and just let your shoulders relax and move away from each other over the knees. With 4 deep breaths here. And just let your body melt like jello. And bring your palms back down up by your face and push into the mat. Lift your torso up. Begin winding down. Extend both legs out in front of you, feet flat on the mat, and scoot your seat forward a bit. If you do have your block, you might want to have it for this next one. Let's roll down onto your back. So roll down one vertebra at a time, maybe kind of extending your arms out to come through a boat pose, engaging the abs here, and letting yourself come all the way down. And bring your feet in, heels kind of close to your feet so your fingertips can graze the heels here. Let's push into our bridge pose. So press into your feet, press into your hands. Inhale, lift your hips up. So you've got a big energetic line from your knees all the way up to your shoulder blades. And if your thighs are not parallel, imagine you're pressing a block, or actually press a block in between your thighs here. So as you push up, you feel your thighs engage. And if this feels good enough for you, press into your hands, press into your forearms. And if you want to kind of bring your shoulders in together, lean over to the right, and kind of origami your left shoulder underneath. Lean over to the left, bring your right shoulder underneath so you can interlace your hands behind your low back. You should feel a lot of space in the neck here. If you don't, maybe try coming out of it and coming back in. One more deep breath in and exhale. Release the clasp of your hands and let yourself roll down one vertebra at a time. You can move your block out of the way if you're using it. Bring your hands into a cactus shape here. Shift your hips off to one side, over to the right, and then let your knees fall over to the left. Gentle twist. You're feeling your right shoulder and your right hip moving away from each other. One more deep breath here. Inhale, bring both your knees back up to neutral and shift your weight over to the other side, shifting your hips over to the left and dropping your knees over to the right. Ideally, your left shoulder blade stays down on the mat. And if it doesn't, I like to you can keep the block in to kind of make it a little. One more deep breath deep into the belly. And you can bring your knees back up to neutral. Maybe hug your knees in towards your chest and rock side to side. And you can bring your knees out kind of towards your armpit. That feels good as you rock. Kind of a half happy baby. As you feel ready, extend one leg at a time out in front of you for Shavasana, our final resting pose. Making sure your shoulder blades are flat against the mat, down away from your ears, palms shining up towards the sky. And let everything relax. Sink into the mat, sink into the earth. Let it nourish you here. And bring your attention to the flow of your breath. It continues to move in through the nose, down through the lungs, and then back out. Feeling your belly rise and flow as the breath moves through you. We'll take about 5 more breaths here together. And as always, you're more than welcome to pause the video and stay here in Shavasana for as long as is possible for you. And if you're ready to get up, you can rub your thumbs against your fingers, wiggle your toes, reach your arms up overhead, stretch your toes away from your fingertips, and roll over to one side, bending the knees. Hang out here for just a moment and push yourself up to take a seat in whatever way is most comfortable for you. Your hands can be faced up in the lap or face down. Whether you want to ground this energy in or continue inviting more with the palms face up to receive. Notice how your body feels. Notice again how the breath is moving throughout the body. You can bring your hands together to touch at the heart and giving yourself gratitude for coming to your mat today and inviting in this air energy. I'll close our practice by chanting Om. You can join if you like. Inhale deeply to chant Om. Dip your chin to your chest, bowing forward. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this air element class. Please give it a like if you did. And check out the rest of my channel if you haven't. And subscribe if you don't. And I will see you in the next video.